Yo, what's going on guys, it's Anime1 back with another video, and today I'm here with another part of What If Naruto Was Neglected and had Isshiki's karma. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, also like this video. So let's begin the video. It has been a couple of years since Naruto was brought back to life by Isshiki, and since he met Isshiki, a lot of things have happened in those 2 years. First, he had actually gotten some control over his karma mark and could actually use it up to some extent. He could absorb jutsu and also use the physical strength given to him by the karma mark. And also in these 2 years, Isshiki had talked a bit with Naruto and told him about his abilities, like Sukuna Hikona, where he can shrink himself and the objects around him, and restore them to their original size whenever he wants to, and also Daikokuten, in which he can store the shrinking objects in a dimension where time doesn't flows, and also spawn them back whenever he wants. So Naruto was working on that. Not that he was able to do any of the jutsu right now, but I guess some things never work out. But Naruto has also met a lieutenant inside him. Flashback. Naruto was meditating. He wanted to meet Isshiki one last time before actually beginning his training. But before that, he went into his mindscape. Naruto opened his eyes as he looked around. This place was like a sewer. He heard a voice. "Come here." The voice was dark and chilling, but Naruto was not afraid now. Isshiki had told him, "You, boy, are now Otsutsuki, above anyone in this pathetic planet. Remember that." He remembered those words as he kept on walking and kept on following the voice. And then he came upon a large cage. A cage? Why? Naruto thought. Then he stepped back a little when two red eyes opened, as he saw a giant Ninetales behind the fox. The fox looked at Naruto. "Some dealer has finally decided to visit me, huh?" The fox said. Naruto looked at the fox. "And you are the Ninetale fox. Why am I meeting you right now? Shouldn't I meet Isshiki?" Naruto said. The fox looked at him confused. "Isshiki? I haven't heard that name in a long while, but why would you want to meet him?" The fox said he was a little scared. Isshiki was someone that had fought with Hagoromo on equal footing when Hagoromo had the power of the Ten Tails, and if it wasn't for the power of the Ten Tails, Kurama was sure that Hagoromo would have lost pretty badly at that one. But he shook his head. "No, kid. Isshiki Otsutsuki is long sealed, and maybe even dead," the fox said. But then he felt a presence. "Hey now there, fox. Don't get ahead of yourself." He looked around and looked up of the seal to see a figure just sitting down in one of the sewer bars. "How are you alive?" Kurama said as he glared up at Isshiki Otsutsuki, who just smirked at him. "How am I alive? I never died in the first place. It's for a ball," Isshiki said as he started landing towards Naruto and landed beside him. "Well, as you know, I never died. I was just sealed away, but a presence, someone close to Kaguya, or that's what I sensed, put me underneath you, and your chakra, how corrosive and how similar it is to the Jupi, was enough of the barrier to break the seal. And once I came out, it looks like the Hagoromo had planned this out. He planned for me to get out, but he didn't knew of the way of the Otsutsuki, the karma mark, Isshiki said with a smirk. The karma? Kurama said, a little confused. Karma is a mark that Otsutsuki can place on any one of its vessels. The vessels will the karma mark will slowly convert the DNA into that of an Otsutsuki, and the Otsutsuki who has given them the mark can take over their body once the host is completely full-fledged Otsutsuki. Fortunately, I hit the jackpot with this kid. Isshiki said looking down. Most kids cannot handle the power of the karma, but fortunately this kid could, and he was gonna be a perfect vessel for me. But unfortunately, due to his foolishness, that doesn't seem possible. I didn't want to die, Fox, just like you. So I had no choice but to convert the remaining of the data that was remaining to be converted into my data to an Otsutsuki data to revive this boy. Hence, I cannot take over his body anymore. But that doesn't mean that this boy is weak. He'll become more powerful than anyone on this planet. Mark my words. Kurama narrowed his eyes at Isshiki. You cannot take over, and that's the best possibility that we could come up with. Don't think that I don't know how strong you are, Isshiki Otsutsuki. Your power surpasses far that of Kaguya, and father barely managed to defeat you. You almost killed him as well, Kurama said, growling at the thought of his father being defeated. But Isshiki smirked. I may not be able to take over, but influence is what matters the most. I can influence this boy to do anything for me, can't I, Naruto? Naruto looked up at Isshiki and just shook his head. I am no one's control, Isshiki. Not yours, not Minato's, not this village. I have my own goals, Naruto said. Isshiki smirked. I know that very well, Naruto, but I don't mean that I'll control you. You know, train you to become a god, someone above everyone on this planet. Isshiki said as he circled around Naruto. Don't you want to get revenge for all that they did to you? Naruto, this karma mark is a blessing, and I will not let you die. You can rest assured for that, Isshiki said with a smirk. Kurama looked down. And don't worry about the fox. His soul will soon be divided into two, since maximum of his chakra is sealed within those two brats. And once that happens, only I and the karma mark will be the source of your power, Isshiki said. Kurama growled. How do you know that? He said. Isshiki looked at him. I'm over 1,000-year-old, Fox. Maybe 2,000s. Do you honestly believe I don't know anything that's related to chakra? I know everything, even more than you, Fox. Just know this. Eventually, a soul will eventually return to its chakra source, no matter how insignificant it is. And since the chakra will be corrosive, you will have to go to the source. Minato will do it eventually, and extract your soul from the boy and put it inside both of his daughters and son. It's as simple as that, Isshiki said. Kurama sighed. How long do I have? He asked. Isshiki looked at him. He went in a thinking pose. If I had to guess, maybe 3 years at max. At minimum, 2 years. Somewhere around that range, Isshiki said as he shrugged. But it doesn't matter. What matters is training the brat so that he can do whatever he wants. Why are you helping him? Kurama said. He narrowed his eyes at the god. Isshiki smirked. A devious one. He has a rather interesting destiny. I just want it to be fulfilled. You'll see what I mean, Fox, once his life continues. You will know very soon. Isshiki said. Kurama shrugged. Maybe this wasn't as bad as he thought. If he could return to his chakra, then screw it. Even if his soul was divided in half, screw that. All he needed was his chakra. Then maybe he could control the brats and get free once again. That's all he wanted, his freedom. Kurama looked at Isshiki. I don't care, but don't disturb me. Kurama said as he started sleeping again. Isshiki nodded. I have no intentions, but Naruto, you on the other hand, get ready, because the training is not gonna be easy, Isshiki said, as a grin appeared on his face. Yup, he was definitely not in the mood to joke on. And after that day, Naruto was never caught and beaten because he could simply erase all of his chakra and then just stay in a location where no one could find him. That was one of the abilities of the Otsutsuki. They could completely erase their chakra so that no one could find them. That meant Naruto could sneak in and out of the village whenever he wanted. Just like he had done all this time. He didn't want others to see that he had the karma mark, so yeah. And also, he only had mastered the stage 1 level of the karma. Stage 2, according to Isshiki, was still too much for the boy, so he didn't try to do anything with it. And so far, it has been so good for Naruto. His family still ignores him completely, so he doesn't really care anymore. Honestly, they could just suck his dick for all he cared. He already had what he wanted, and that was power. And in few days, he'll be free. Today is the triplets' birthday, and every year their parents would throw a gigantic party that half of the village was invited to. It was honestly stupid to him. Why throw such big party and invite people that they barely even knew? Sure, the clan heads kinda made sense. It's like a friend and diplomatic type thing, as they were the years and years to establish a fine connection with one another and built even bigger reputation because they were associated with the Hokage, or better yet, the 4th Hokage's clan. The Uzumaki and the Namikaze, and mostly the Uzumaki, as the Namikazes really weren't that well known of a clan. It didn't really matter to him much because while Mito and Menma get to party and get awesome gifts, Naruto leaves the house to train in secret or just to go away and relax, not really caring about the family. He tried to be a part of it all those years, and they don't even remember his existence. So why even bother? So why was he so excited? That was not because of his birthday really. Is the academy graduation was coming up, which meant he really can't let loose. During the years of his time in the academy, Naruto has to be dumb himself down like a lot. Well, he had the talent to match up against the top students like Menma, Mito, Sasuke, and Sakura in terms of smarts, that is, and Sayuri, Sasuke's twin sister. Isshiki told him that to keep his training and all his jutsus and stuff to himself until he was ready for all his goals. He had to wait because he could do whatever he wanted as a free person, not to have a crap from anybody else. Sure, he still had to listen to his father and whatever Jonin instructor he got that, but it was only during the missions. They really can't control his personal life. Over these years, Naruto learned a great deal with. He learned the Otsutsuki style Tai Jutsu. He mixed it up during his training, and also the 9 tails had returned to Menma and Mito, but they barely noticed it since the seal was so fucking strong. Well, it really didn't matter. As long as he got what he needed, he'll be fine. And also Genjutsu. Naruto was pretty much immune to it. Isshiki had told him that since he was an Otsutsuki, Genjutsus don't have a shit-like effect on him. They're pretty much useless against him, since he is chakra and the chakra flowing through him was so strong that the others could not even invade his chakra system. So that was that. And also, he learned some interesting things. Flashback. Naruto was training as he heard Ishiki's voice. Boy, do you know about chakra natures? He said. It had been 3 years and Naruto was in the second last year of his academy. Naruto nodded. Yes, I do. But why are you asking this? Naruto asked Ishiki. Ishiki smirked inside the seal. Well, so you know, Otsutsuki has all 5 chakra natures, and affinity to them is also equal. You can manipulate them to an extent that no other can, but they're pretty much useless in comparison to the abilities that you're gonna get that once you master the stage 2 of the Karma Seal. But then again, as I said, you have to master the chakra natures just to fool these fools about how it's done. Since you still want to keep the impression that you're on this side, don't you? Ishiki said. Naruto nodded. Indeed I do, but how the hell am I gonna do jutsus? Can't I just do jutsus without even weaving hand signs? Naruto said. Ishiki nodded. Yes, that indeed you can. You don't need hand signs to do jutsus. But you have to at least look at how to do jutsus and see how it's done, don't you? Isshiki said. Naruto nodded. I suggest you go to the Uchiha compound to see the fire style, and then sneak up on Kakashi's Hatake to see the lightning style, and if possible, go to your mother and see her training the two siblings about water and wind nature. And about Earth, you can simply just do that without any problem. You'll learn that as the time goes on. Ishiki said to Naruto, who smirked. This was indeed going to be fun. And because of that, Naruto had learned very much things. So much jutsus. Well, the Chidori, Ishiki had told him not to learn that since it would create suspicion. He just learned 2 or 3 lightning style jutsus, 2 or 3 water styles, and some couple of wind style jutsus. And that was that. And fire style, he had a few of those. So he was pretty much rocking with ninjutsu. So that wasn't going to be any problem. Naruto got up and made his way towards the closet and began to dress. It was 10:30 a.m. and Naruto was just thinking of relaxing today. He knew his parents and siblings were up, but again, not giving a damn about them. So for now, he planned to go on train and chill all night long until it was all over. Naruto put on his usual orange jumpsuit he wore and he went down. No one would notice as it was this usually chilly at this time of the year. Then Naruto made his way downstairs to head out the door. He passed his family along with Jiraiya and Tsunade, who was having breakfast. Kushina called out, Naruto, where are you going? Naruto turned to see the whole family looking at him in confusion, but Menma just glared at him. It's your siblings' birthday breakfast. You should be eating with them and spending time with them, Minato said with a smile, which pissed off Naruto. Do you realize it's not just their birthday, don't you? It's also my birthday as well, Naruto said, clenching his teeth in anger. The whole family was quite shocked to the core. They forgot all about Naruto. They were so focused on Mito and Menma that Naruto wasn't even a thought. Sure we did, son. You planned out giving Mito a party breakfast, Menma birthday lunch, and you dinner, Kushina said. Minato going along with her. Naruto watched all of them in their faces and spoke. I'm not a dumbass. You know, you pulled that off your ass so fast that you digested the alphabet and shat that a piece of shit of fuckery. You called an idea, Naruto said, heading out of the door while hearing Tsunade open her mouth. You brat, apologize to your parents. That was uncalled for, she yelled. Naruto just scoffed as he left, not opting to stay, and heard his mother. Sniffs and sobs. How bad that they messed things up. Meanwhile, Naruto quickly makes his way towards his favorite training ground, the Forest of Death. Once they got there, Naruto looked. This is gonna be interesting, Naruto said, and he activated his karma mark as the karma spread throughout his body, and it went through his right eye. I missed this rush of power, Naruto thought. Then he started his massacre. All the trees were slowly going down, and there were a lot of spiders and stuff in this forest, which were incredibly strong, and not even Genin or Chunins could get through the spiders, but Naruto was tearing through them without any problem. So that was that. Isshiki was watching the whole scene. Inside Naruto's karma smirked. The boy was indeed getting strong. He could make the boy stronger, but he didn't want to. He would let the boy do whatever he wanted. He had only given him the basics, and he was just here to watch the show. He wouldn't let the boy die, of course. The reason was he would die as well. And no matter what, he didn't want his soul to completely extinguish. So he had no choice. He sighed. The bastard Hagoromo would pay if he ever took over this boy's body or got out of the seal somehow. But he doubted that was possible. Even someone of his caliber was one of the strongest members in his clan could not do something like that. He sighed. What a drag it was. Naruto sensed someone presence coming here. He completely erased his presence and went out of the Forest of Death by deactivating his karma. As soon as he did that, and made his chakra sort of visible to the others, the two Anbus appeared in front of him. One was Weasel and the other was a dog. Latter spoke. Namikaze-san, Hokage-san has just requested your presence at the Uzumaki Namikaze residence. Naruto frowned. What's this about? They never tried this before. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. Naruto sighed as he spoke. I'll be there. He said as he began to move. We'll take you there immediately, Weasel said, as he put a hand on Naruto's shoulder and the three Sunsrin to make it in front of the Hokage's mansion, which is full of villagers and the clan members of Konoha. He sighed as he measured his thoughts and the way through the villagers, but once he made his way in front of the door to enter, the tipsy villagers stopped him. Yay, you brat, that demon child, he said, getting the attention of few people. Naruto gritted his teeth. Yeah, that is me. What of it? Are you going to stop me now, fool? He said in disdain, having to call out at this place. Are you threatening me, you little demon? As threatening the Hokage's son, that is least punishable by treason, Weasel said with an edge. No, sir, I apologize, a villager said as he drunkenly moved aside to allow them to pass. Naruto frowned and made his way inside the house, with Weasel and Dog following. You did not have to do that, Anbu-san. I had it under control. Be that as is, may be Namikaze-san. I must assure your safety, no matter the cost, he said as he made his way into the living area where the most everyone was. Naruto, you little gremlin, where have you been? Kushina said, while Mita and Menma were behind her. I was out training, that's why. I was so late. He responded, Ha! You? Training? Oh, please, idiot. You couldn't even throw a kunai right. You're training? Leave it to the professional, loser. Menma insulted, causing the whole party to laugh. Naruto just watched them with an uncaring attitude. To him, Menma was a dumbass. Nothing more, nothing less. Come on, Menma, let's open our presents, Mito said, grabbing Naruto's hand and pulling him, but Naruto ripped it away. What? Presents? You have two presents. I don't. Go ahead and open them. I don't care anymore, he said, looking to the side. The room went silent. They also had forgotten about Naruto, but vowed to themselves they would buy or whip up something for him later. That was only for the clan heads' cases. The others, the civilians specifically, were glaring down at the boy. Minato noticed that. Don't tell me he was telling the truth all along. As Mito and Menma moved to the table where the pile of presents were, Naruto was being harassed by the villagers and the small clans that wished the boy a happy birthday, and some villagers trying to do something to him, but Naruto just glared at them, and they knew not to mess with the boy. Naruto knew why they did that. It was to get on his better graces with his parents so he could tell them to stop with the promises and leave him the hell alone. Menma and Mito were just bursting their presents gift with glee and obtained a few awesome presents like kunai, shuriken, and other stuff. And then the godparents came up with big scrolls. Menma, I want you to sign the third contract summon scroll. You'll be training under them from here on out, he said. Tsunade went to Mito, and you, Mito, you'll sign up the slug contract and train under them. The two grinned like idiots and signed the scroll with glee as Naruto just watched them. You know, if I had that kind of thing, I would honestly throw such inferior creatures to doing that. Summoning them? You're kidding me. Isshiki said inside Naruto's head. Naruto sighed. The inferior creature part again, huh? You'll never improve, huh, Isshiki? Naruto said. Isshiki scoffed. I'm just telling what is the truth. I simply don't get it. Why don't you see these people as inferior beings? You are no Otsutsuki. Be proud of it, Isshiki said. Naruto didn't respond to that. Oh yes, he was proud of being an Otsutsuki, but for a different reason. If he was an Otsutsuki, that simply meant he wasn't related to Minato or Kushina by blood anymore. That was that. Mito spoke. Could Naruto brother also sign it too? Jiraiya and Tsunade both widened their eyes in shock. Oh shit. I forgot about Naruto. If he signs the slug or the third contract, I can hold this over Tsunade's or Jiraiya's head for a while, they both thought simultaneously. Yes, sure, they both said as they raced towards Naruto, who was sitting in a chair far away from the room with his eyes closed. Hoping that this will all end soon, he opened one of his eyes to see Jiraiya and Tsunade standing in front of him, with grins on their faces and scrolls in their hands. What? He asked, annoyed. Naruto, I present to you the privilege to sign the third contract. Jiraiya smiled. No way, Naruto. You should sign the slug contract. It's a way better option for you, she said with a beautiful smile. The crowd laughed at the accent of the two Sanins. Minato smiled. I hope Naruto picks the toads. That was my contract when I was training with Jiraiya Sensei, he thought. Oh, son, please pick the slug's contract. If you do, you, me, and your sister can work together and be closer. Since this morning, Kushina thought about all the times her family has ever done anything with her and her eldest, and she drew upon none. She remembered when Naruto was coming back home with very much beaten up, and whenever he said that the villagers beat him up, They would simply just ignore him, or Kushina sometimes would beat him even more, saying that he was lying. But in truth, Naruto was never lying. He just did what others did to him, and he said to them, but they never thought of it or anything. So he simply forgot about it. He stopped saying those things almost how much years ago? 6 years ago, Kushina thought. As he thought of Naruto, he was currently 12, and that stopped when he was 6 years ago. When he was 6, that meant when he was 5 or 6 years old, he was getting beaten up. And she broke down crying when she saw all the photos album. There were none photo with Naruto. Did they ignore him so much for the rest of his life? What was his favorite food, color, hobby? Did he have any friends? All these things she didn't know. She knew Menma's and Mito's, but nothing of Naruto. He was like a stranger to her, and she hated it. She vowed that she would change. She was hoping that she could start with the contract summoning, but Naruto said his next words shocked not only her, but the entire party. "I don't want to sign. Those are useless," he said. What do you mean by these are useless? Kid, do you realize this type of things can only come around once in a blue, right? Jiraiya said. "I know, but I would rather not. These things will only hold me back," Naruto said. They all looked at him. "You really think, huh? This will hold you back?" "Oh yeah, and how is that?" Menma said, calling out his bluff. Naruto simply glared at his brother. Menma didn't back down and glared back at Naruto. "It's none of your concern, Menma. You'll soon know. But just know this, I have nothing to do with any of you, so leave me alone." Saying that, Naruto went past Menma and made his way upstairs. "Son, don't you want to stay for cake? Please, let's enjoy this time as a family," Kushina said with a loving smile. Naruto stayed silent. He felt a chocolate flare, but he couldn't suppress it. In time or in simple words, he didn't try to. He turned to his so-called family and guest and spoke. "Family. Family is a strange word to me. I don't know what love is. Sounds funny when I say it myself. Family, huh? It sounds like it doesn't belong in my mouth. Or love. Those words are just simply concepts that are nothing but illusion to me. Family, that's the most terrifying thing to call this piece of shit of group that you have," Naruto said as he ran upstairs and went to his bedroom. Once he slammed his door, Kushina just looked down and she spoke. "He hates us. I knew it," she said. Minato sighed. "Party's over, everyone. Thanks you for coming, but I kindly asked all of you, please exit," he said as the room cleared out. As soon as he did that, Minato made his way upstairs to confront his wife. Wow. Menma and Mito stayed downstairs. Menma growled, "Stupid idiot, making mom cry. I'll show the worthless piece of shit how much of a loser he is," he thought as he made a vow to protect his mom, but also he would make Naruto pay one way or another. Same thoughts were not of Mito's perspective. "I don't know anything about my brother," she thought. She didn't know, and she heard the words that he said. "Love and family are a concept to me that are strange. It's like an illusion. Nothing more, nothing less." Has Naruto really never felt love in his life? What kind of life did Naruto have? That were her thoughts. Just sad. Sometime later, today was the day that Naruto, Menma, and Mito are going to their Genin exams to become a full-fledged shinobi. Naruto sighed as he got out of his bed and got dressed in his new clothes that he had picked out. He decided that his orange jumpsuit was too ugly and had become so unneeding of a shinobi, so he had to change. He had in black Anbu pants with white wrapping around his ankles. He walked to his bed as he picked up the clothes that he had. Put on his black shirt as he sighed and looked at the mirror. The others would definitely not like this. He went downstairs, but once he did, he immediately regretted it as he saw Kushina and Mito heading downstairs to prepare breakfast. He tried to turn around and go through the window towards the academy, but Kushina saw him and smiled at him, hopefully. Hey, Naruto, would you like to have, some breakfast with us? You'll need your energy when you're in your Genin exams, he said. Naruto just watched her in annoyance. Oh, I'm surprised that you remembered. I even go to the academy. Wow, he said, as he headed downstairs, not caring about Kushina's sad expression that washed on her face, as Mito sighed. Naruto, just eat with us, she said, with an uncaring tone. Naruto didn't respond as he made his way out of the house, leaving Kushina even more broken. Meanwhile, Naruto was heading towards the academy to chill. Now, usually he went to the academy. He would go early so he could take his number one spot and seat to the left corner of the classroom, the window seat. He was the best seat in the class as he absorbed everything that goes in the class, and he would know. No one would really bother him. He may act like a dumbass when it came to the test, but when it came to his classmates, he was not rather spoken with, and that didn't annoy him at all. Naruto just hoped that things wouldn't get any bad than they already were. And as always, Naruto took his seat and watched as the other person came in. Choji was a rather good guy. He would munch chips, but overall Choji was not that annoying. He didn't talk with him, but he was okay. Shikamaru, on the other hand, would just sleep throughout the classes. Even when the teacher scolded him to go out of the class, he would just sleep outside of the class. But Naruto knew better than anyone. The boy was a damn genius. And the reason he slept was because simply he found everything too boring. And that was that. The next person to walk in the classroom was the two most annoying people in his life beside Mito and Menma, Sasuke and Sayuri Uchiha, the Uchiha twins. Those two were the bane of his existence when it came down to anything in the academy. Along with Menma and his fangirls, Sasuke would always find a way to annoy him with constant remarks on his own worthlessness, life, and how much better he was than Naruto due to his Uchiha blood. Of course, Menma and Sasuke were rivals, but what brought them together was the torture of Naruto. In any event, Sasuke wasn't a bad shinobi either, but he was just a mediocre at the best. Sayuri was probably the worst though. Anything Naruto tried in and she did better, she'd run it in his face and gloat. She would tease how he was a weak and pathetic disappointment and how he should just commit suicide and pray he becomes a bear shinobi in the next life. Maybe back then he would have done it, but now those were just empty words. He had a goal, and no matter what, he would fulfill it. But what pisses him off the most was back then, he might have done it. Couldn't he see that telling someone to kill themselves, especially and the person's life was already going hellless to begin with, would actually cause them to listen to her. What made him hate her more than Sasuke, cause he was such a self-centered bitch. But after they entered, the another person entered. Her name was Hinata Hyuga. Personally, he had no problem with the girl. She was just shy and just he could sense she was suffering from self-depression as much as he was. So that was that. Then came in Ino Yamanaka and Sakura Haruno. Menma and Sasuke's two very own number one fangirls. To him, these two were the most annoying and the embarrassment of an excuse of a kunoichi. They were so terrible at everything related to ninja, it was actually almost sad really. Even more so for Ino's, as he was a part of a ninja clan, and Sakura is just a civilian. So that was that. Sarity moved to the seat at the back and saw Naruto was sitting there in his new gear. She looked at him and took a good look at him. Slightly blushed to herself. She couldn't lie, he looked good, but that didn't change. They argued to make fun of him. Hey loser, nice clothes, but do you really think that a change of clothes will keep you from failing? You're still pathetic nobody, she insulted. Everyone took notice to who she was talking to. Mostly everyone laughed. Yeah, hate to say it. Sensori said it, but she's right. Naruto, idiot. You'll never pass, no matter how good you look. You're an idiot, Sakura shouted. Sasuke just looked at Naruto with a glare. He wasn't worth his words. Kiba laughed way too hard. Yeah, idiot, you'll never become a ninja, especially when no one trains you. You're hopeless when your family, and even your family, thinks so, he said. And Mito was reminded quiet as he watched Naruto lower his head. Shit, this wasn't good. Menma snorted as he glared at his brother. Naruto looked down at his lap, not because he cared about anything, just because, he had to calm himself down. Let me kill them. They have no right. They are inferior creatures. Just let me take over, Isshiki said. Well, it wasn't that he cared about the boy, it was just that his vessel was getting insulted. A full Otsutsuki was getting insulted. These inferior creatures need to learn their place. He was saying that to Naruto, but simply just ignored even Isshiki. He didn't care. Soon Eureka enters the classroom and smiles at the students. Hello class. I believe this is the day is finally upon us. It was just yesterday when you all were such young energetic kids, walking in through that door for the first time. Now you'll be walking out of that door. Some will be walking out with a headband and with pride, while others will walk out with nothing but disappointment. The most students look at Naruto, who was busy staring outside the window. Sayori, who sat beside him, inwardly chuckled. He's so hopeless, such a dumbass, really. It's really shameful that he is actually Menma's older brother, she thought while looking at Naruto in disdain. Iruka gathered a large amount of papers. Now, let's get started. You'll be receiving your written test now. You may start when you feel like it, and receive it. Once he went around and handing out the test, Naruto sighed when he got his. This is a test. It's so easy. How could anyone even fail at this? Isshiki spoke. Not everyone is smart like you, dumbass. Just do this test and try to just get this passing grade. That will be good. Isshiki said. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, he said. Once the test was done, everyone saw that Sakura was on the top and followed by Sasuke, Sayori, Menma, and then Mito. Naruto was right at the middle, average. Menma smirked at Naruto. That's a loser, he said. Iruka spoke. Alright, now for the next part of the test, kunai and shuriken. Everyone head outside. Everyone got up and headed outside of the room, but Naruto waited till everyone was gone and just disappeared. Before anyone could arrive, Naruto was already there. Iruka was stunned to see Naruto already there. Before he could ask, Sayori beat him to it. Idiot, how the hell did he make it before us? She asked. First he beats her first. He even passes the test now. He just came before them. Naruto blankly stared at her angered face and spoke calmly. I walked down the walls to get here. He said so casually it made it tick off. Iruka, however, was shocked. He's already mastered tree climbing exercises? Naruto, what happened to you? He thought. Before any more students could gang up on the poor kid, Iruka started. Well, then Naruto, could you please stay with the class? I'd rather not lose any of the students on our last day. Anyway, you'll begin going to your accuracy test. I'll be calling your name in alphabetical order. Okay? So everything goes the same. Naruto again gets an average score. He only scores 5, enough to pass. That was... Nobody noticed, but 2 people did. Naruto was holding back. Before, he didn't even try, so it didn't look like he was holding back, but now they noticed. Shikamaru and Sayori. He's quite a mystery, isn't he? He asked the female Uchiha. What? Naruto is so confusing sometimes. It's hard for me to truly figure him out. What really is about? How strong is he really? These are the couple of questions I ask myself when I look at him. Sayori rolled her eyes. You know, you're such a creep, Shikamaru. Get away from me, she said as he walked away, leaving the Nara boy to himself. What a drag, he said, in annoyance. Back with the matches. Students left and with their teachers and beaten up by the clan heroes. Next was the taijutsu part. Sino was paired up against Shikamaru, but Shikamaru just simply gave up. He was too lazy to fight. Choji got a fight against a random civilian and pretty much beat him up pretty quickly. Along with Hinata, Kiba went up against Menma and lost rather quickly due to Menma's so-called awesomeness. According to his fanbase, Ino and Sakura were the most pathetic fight he had ever seen in his life. They weren't even using straight taijutsu, it was a slap fight, which looked so embarrassing. Sayori fought Mito and it ended in a draw, so it only left Naruto and Sasuke on the stand. As the two walked up front, the students cheered for Sasuke. Sayori stayed silent, though, because he wanted to absorb the elder Uzumaki, what he would do. Sasuke smirked. You heard that, dope. Looks like even they know who's going to win. It's hopeless. You can't beat anyone, much less an Uchiha. Sasuke taunted. Naruto remained unmotivated to attack. Sasuke, so was the Uchiha. Before Iruka gave the go ahead, Sasuke rushed in. Well, if you're not going to attack, then I will. Sasuke ran towards Naruto and sent a fast jab in his face. Naruto just leaned back swiftly. Sasuke kept on attacking Naruto, who kept on dodging his attacks like they were nothing. Menma scoffed. I'll admit, he did a bit better, but he's still trash. He can't even attack Sasuke. He has him on his ropes, he said, with the majority of the class agreeing. Sayori and Shikamaru thought were otherwise. No way. The way he's going about this, the loser isn't even breaking a sweat against my idiot of a brother, she thought. He's stalling Sasuke, making him waste his energy. Troublesome. Why did Naruto have to become stronger than he already was? Shikamaru thought with a sigh. Sasuke threw a kick at Naruto, but Naruto blocked it. The fight was going to be on for a while, but Sasuke kept on attacking over and over. Point to the point where moves were getting sloppy. Naruto sighed. This is becoming boring. He said as he slowly appeared behind Sasuke and stopped him in the back of his neck, knocking the Uchiha out. Naruto had defeated his opponent without really showing his moves. Everyone saw that and a lot of anger was shown. Not fear, Irika-sensei. Naruto baka cheated. He used a jutsu to get behind Sasuke. Just like that, Sakura yelled. To say that proves how delusional you really are and how you shouldn't even be a shinobi. I didn't read a single hand sign, Naruto said, walking off to the building, receiving a lot of glares. Not that he cared, Eureka sighed. Sometimes he really hated this job. Alright class, we're going to take a 10-minute break to give Sasuke a chance to awaken. Go take a break and cool off and ready yourself for the ninjutsu portion, he said. While the other kids were disturbed by the thought of Naruto defeating Sasuke. Hey kid, why did you do that? He asked. Naruto sighed. I don't know how you could say. My emotions, my anger got the best of me. He was taunting me too much, and I wanted to let off some anger, Naruto said. Isshiki sighed. You're an idiot, he said. Meanwhile, at the Hokage's office, there was a Jonin meeting going on between the Hokage and the Jonins. Many of the Jonins, along with Minato, Jiraiya, and Kushina, were standing and watching the Genin exams with great interest. Minato sighed. So it's safe to say the students graduating this year are quite promising shinobi. The Jonins nodded their head. These years of new branches are quite a new catch. Have any of you decided on who you wish to take? Asuma Sarutobi, the son of the third Hokage, walked up. I would like to take on this generation of Inoshikacho, he said. I would like to train them. Minato nodded. Anyone opposed to this? He asked. No one argued. Well, Asuma, the team is yours. Next, Kuronai Yuhai stepped up. I wish to take Kiba Inuzuka, Sino Aburame, and Hinata Hyuga. Minato nodded. After he waited for any objections, which he did not get. Okay, next. Kakashi stepped forward. I wish to take Sasuke Uchiha, Uzumaki Naruto. But before he could complete the sentence, no, you can't have him, Kushina yelled, interrupting Kakashi. Minato, I want Naruto on my team along with Menma and Mito. I could train them better than anyone else, as I am his mother, she said forcibly. This could make her chance to work out things between her son. Kakashi sighed. Hokage-sama, if I may, I believe Naruto would benefit from my tutelage, as more so than hers, as he wouldn't listen to anything that she would say, because, I hate to say it, but he hates your family. Minato sighed as Kushina glared down in sadness and regret. Hatake, mind your words, he ordered. Minato sighed. While he just witnessed, Naruto was actually holding back against Sasuke, so maybe Naruto was holding back his strength all this time. He really wouldn't know, so that just proved that he even didn't knew his son. He would obviously like to let Kushina take Naruto, to be honest. Kakashi does have a point. As much as Kushina would like to connect with their son, to force Naruto onto doing something like this would only push him away further. And he wasn't sure about Menma and Mito wouldn't exactly make things easier as the whole operation to get Naruto back, as his attitude towards his brother absolutely sucks. But to put him in the same hand as Kakashi might not be a good idea either. As much as he loved his only living student, his teaching skills are something to be worried about. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that he wasn't so sort of Jonin, and that Kakashi's skill is somewhat of a Kage skill, he wouldn't absolutely recommend Kakashi for being a Jonin teacher at all. He really needed the teachers after the QB attacked. He's low on good Jonin, so honestly he is out of options. But then another person stepped up. Okage-sama, if you don't mind, I would like to take the boy in. And Minato's eyes widen. Yes, this could work out. And the person who had stepped forward was Shisui Uchiha. Shisui, thank God you're here, Minato said, as others' sweat dropped. Was the Hokage really that happy? Yes, and who would he like to take on the team? Yes, Naruto as normal. And then I would like to take Sayori Uchiha along with the civilian kid named Yoroichi Kobotsuchi, he said, as all of them looked at him. Kushina glared at Shisui. What? No, I cannot let this happen. She shouted at Minato, but Minato gave her a stern look, which made her step back. Shisui, very well. You can take on the team, he said. Shisui nodded with a smile. Thank you, Hokage-sama, he said as he vanished in a bloody flicker. Other side, well, there was an announcement to be made, but I guess we'll inform him later, Minato said. Things were getting interesting, that was for sure. Shisui had noticed something within Naruto that he noticed within himself. Loneliness, never feeling love in his life. Of course, Shisui had a mother, but he lost her. And that was the reason why he had unlocked the Mangekyo at such a young age, but that was outside of the topic. He needed to see how the boy's mindset was, and hopefully bringing out of the darkness that the boy currently was. He needed someone's guidance, and Shisui was hoping that he would be the one who would guide the boy towards the light. Otherwise, he saw potential in the boy, and he would bring it out no matter what.